everyone, it's Samia, and right now I'm going to be doing my top books of 2015, and also I'm going to do a little author shout out for 2015 of all the awesome authors that I have discovered this year and that I just wanted to do a little mention. So I'm first going to do the authors because I figured I would go ahead and get that out of the way real fast. So I have a few authors here that I wanted to mention. First one that I want to mention is A.L. Jackson. She wrote the Stone in the Sea series, I guess you could say. This is the only book that I've read by her, but I absolutely loved it. There is a book 2 and about this series, and I would love to pick it up soon, but I really enjoyed her writing. I got this book in the bookworm box, and I just wanted to do a quick mention of this author. She's awesome. I love her writing, and it was great. So the next author that I really want to mention is Nicole Williams. I love Nicole Williams. I love everything that I've read that she's written. I first want to show you the book that started it all, which is Crash. But I read Crash, and then I read Clash, and then I read Crush, and then I read Lost and Found, and then I read Near and Far. And I want to say that's all the books that I've read by her. I have a few more on my shelf that I would like to read sometime soon, but I really enjoy her writing, and she's an amazing author. So the next author that I need to mention is Tamara Weber. I read Easy by Tamara Weber and Breakable by her this year, and they were amazing. I'm going to be mentioning this book in just a minute, but her writing is absolutely phenomenal. It is just take your breath away, so good. The next author I want to mention is Abby Glines. I have a whole section here of Abby Glines. Her writing is great. I love her characters. She really includes all of her characters in her series. She's awesome. Her books are super easy to read, really short, really quick, and really enjoyable. So after that, I have Colleen Hoover, of course. I have read almost everything by Colleen Hoover. I have a few novellas and the November. I always do that when I mention Colleen Hoover. The Never Never series. I haven't started that one yet. But other than that, I've read all of her books, and they are absolutely mind-blowing. They're just mind-blowing. She has this different aspect that she includes in her books. One of her books had some music in it where it had an interactive playlist that you could listen to. Another one had some art. And November 9 was also written with some other characters intertwined in the middle of it. But other than that, it was also written in such a interesting way where it followed the same characters on one day of 1 year for 6 years, if that made any sense. You know what I mean? It was just great. Her writing is great. I could go on forever. So the next author that I want to mention is J. Daniels. I recently got into her series, and I have really just enjoyed them this month. I've read them this month, and I can't wait to continue on with her series and see where her characters go in their stories and all of that. I would love to pick up some more books by her. I also wanted to mention Jamie Maguire. This year I did read the Maddox Brothers series, and I have absolutely loved it. The next one is coming out, I want to say, in exactly a month, or sometime around a month. And it's the last and final one in the Maddox Brothers series, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm so sad. I also want to mention Anna Todd. I read her After series, except for Before, because it just came out recently and I haven't picked it up yet. I read the After series and I absolutely love that. Her writing is so realistic because it really shows you the struggles that people can face, and not everything is picture perfect, and yes, people fight and people argue, but it's real life and that's what happens, and she had such great character development in her books. I also want to mention Jessica Sorensen. She is an amazing author. I have read a few of her books. I also got hooked on her because of the bookworm box, and she's just great. I have so many of her books. I just can't. They're great. And then last but not least, I just read this book, finished it last night. For the first time I've read anything by this author, and it is A. Meredith Walters. Her book was great, and I cannot wait to continue on with the series that I'm reading. It's the Find You in the Dark series. It is so good. And yeah, those are the authors that I just quickly wanted to mention that I have really just loved this year. Then I am going to go ahead and do my best of 2015. I read about just under 60 books this year, and I picked out a few that really just stuck out at me. So, of course, the first one is Easy by Tamara Weber. This book has to be my favorite book of the year. Almost my favorite book of all time, I want to say. I'd have to really think about it. But her book, this book specifically, is amazing. It deals with the characters in this book and the topic of this book so well. It is amazing. If I could recommend anything to anyone, it would be this book. Hands down. It was amazing. Then I want to mention November 9 by Colleen Hoover. This book would probably be my number 2 book of the year. The rest I'm kind of like all over the place, but I know for sure that Easy is number 1 and November 9 is number 2. Favorite book of the year. It is just amazing. If I could recommend anything, it would be Easy and November 9, actually. They're just so good. Colleen Hoover has just this different way of writing, and it captures me every time and breaks my heart. It makes me love these characters so much. Oh, it was so good. I can't wait for another Colleen Hoover book to come out. Even though I have a few that I should read, I just still can't wait for another set of characters that I can really just fall in love with. So, in no particular order now, I have the Alabama Summer Series by Jane Daniels. I showed this in a few videos recently. I have it on my Kindle. This series was so good. I really, really enjoyed the characters. It was such an easy read, and they were really funny and super witty and just really great. I really enjoyed their series, and I can't wait to continue on with this series and see where these characters go and their stories, and yeah. I then want to mention After by Anna Todd. I did read this series, as I just said in the beginning of this video. I really liked Anna Todd's writing. At first, at times I was a bit mixed. I was like, oh, really, really? But then at the same time, I really enjoy these characters, and I realized at the end that what she wrote was realistic. And like I said, I already explained this all. I don't want to explain it again and bore you guys. But it's true. I really loved her writing. I loved her characters. I loved her characters. They were great. And I cannot wait to read Before, because it is after told, I want to say it's after told in multiple people's point of view. And so I'm really interested to see how other people saw their situation in the book. Then I'm going to mention the Maddox Brothers series. I did just mention this again because this is the series that I read by Jamie McGuire this year. And I really enjoyed seeing the connection to the, what's the other series called? Beautiful Disaster. I liked seeing the characters and a little more about the family, the Maddox family, and all the brothers, and there is one more coming out, and I'm super excited to read that one. And I just really enjoyed them. I love Jamie McGuire. Her books are amazing. And then, of course, I wanted to mention Abby Glines. This year I read so many of her books. I probably read the most out of any other author. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 16. I've read 16 of her books this year, which is crazy. I read the Seabreeze series, the Vincent Boy series, and the Rosemary Beach series. I have not completed the Rosemary Beach series. I'm still continuing that one. She did come out with another series. I want to say it's a series this year. I have not picked it up yet. I think it's after Friday night or until Friday night. I want to pick that one up. But I really enjoy her writing. Her characters are really fun and they're easy to read and they are heartbreaking at the same time. Because I remember there was one book. I remember specifically I cried from the 3rd page of the book until probably the end of the book. They are just so good. And I just really enjoyed my reading this year, and I'm super excited to get into next year and see all the amazing books and authors I can discover next year. And yeah, so let me know if you've read any of these authors or these series, and leave some comments down below. Like this video if you liked it. Oh my gosh. Subscribe so that way you can see when I post another video, and until then, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!